So, good day, everybody. I'm Rifhan Rusydi, but you can call me Soul Archer. Now, I do animations and other drawing related videos on this channel, but today we're doing something a little different, and that is a movie review. Because, as part of one of my classes, we are required to watch a film and understand its principles to help us understand the narrative standpoint of visual storytelling. Now, after surveying countless films throughout my life, I decided to do a movie review on one in particular that really got to me, and that is The Breakfast Club. Now, the movie was released in 1985 and directed by John Hughes, who's famous for creating all sorts of coming to age teenage films that involve the Shermer High School. Now, this film is what I consider to be the perfect representation of ideas versus execution, where its simple premise of having five students sit in detention throughout an entire Saturday is executed very well. You have all sorts of fun moments with the characters that isn't just them simply sitting around doing nothing, because there's no point in a movie if the characters do nothing. You actually see them sit down and watch them interact with each other. Now, this film, it's good for one thing, and that is the theme of negative teenage impact. Now, these people are teenagers. The five main characters. You've got John Bender, Claire Standish, Andrew, Allison, and Brian, who I'm sorry I forgot their surnames. But simply put, these five individuals, they have distinct personalities from each other, and they are all bound by one thing: negative childhood experiences. Every one of them experiences problems that teenagers have, such as peer pressure, child abuse, overexertion, bullying, and of these negative traits eventually lead to their somewhat dysfunctional personalities. But that's actually the standing point of this film, because these five, they're different. They're part of different social cliques. They're, as the movie perceives them, a princess, an athlete, a brain, a basket case, and a criminal. Five different stereotypes people see these students in. But deep are deep I'm sorry, but deep down they are all very connected to each other through the process that they are human. They are teenagers. They understand, they have struggles. It's something we can understand as the audience. And the stereotypes are actually one of the reasons why I actually enjoyed this film, because the way I see it, this is based on perception. People believe that once they see something, they can immediately assume the category they're in. Like, put Brian, he's a brain, he's the nerd of the class. And Andrew, he's the athlete, he's supposed to be strong. Yes, they fit in those themes, but there are also traits that diverge them from the themes. And eventually, the divergence will cause them to connect to each other, especially in that one nice scene where they all just sit down and talk. They really do that well. I'm sorry. This was mostly unscripted, but this is based on my personal thought. I see because I see this movie as a good way of showcasing how something as simple as kids sitting in detention can be executed very well. And I'm not the only one who agrees, because in the later decades you have films such as Pitch Perfect, which took the iconic ending scene as a plot point in the movie. If you watch the movie, you understand that John Bender, he raises his fist in the air to signify that he is liberated from the trauma. And another movie was known as the New Mutants. This is an X-Men type of film which mimics the whole concept and elements of five teenagers being trapped in a certain area. Though Paul, I liked it, but most people agreed that it wasn't as good as the Breakfast Club. But I don't mind. I still enjoyed that movie. And eventually, the Nickelodeon sitcom Victorious, they also made a complete parody of the film, but in their own way. They changed their characterizations, but everything is still Victorious, but it follows the elements of the Breakfast Club. So, in short, the Breakfast Club is what I see as a simple idea that was put in a very good scenario, because each scene makes you wonder more about the characters. If there's no point, if none of these scenes existed, then there wouldn't be a point in having this movie. It, if you want to watch this, just sit in the security room and observe someone watching. Yeah, but this movie was a fun one, and I really wish I was born a few decades earlier to watch it when it was showing, because it really, you don't find movies with this much quality these days. But yeah, that is my review on The Breakfast Club, and I hope you enjoyed this movie review. So thank you for watching and listening, and look forward to more content in the future, especially, and maybe I'll make some more movie reviews. Thank you.